We're going to go to a particular clip regarding Drake's most recent projects. In the last,
I just heard about that.
Yes,
that's crazy.
Jen, have you heard the content at all? Have you
All
heard his
three
new
albums.
music? You heard
You know,
all three?
I've been #1 on Drake's Spotify, top 5%, top 0.1% since like 2019.
Thanks for taking it for the team.
Yep. We just had an Iceman release party last night.
3 albums is crazy. Just as an artist, that's pretty impressive. Right? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Now, because I haven't been able to listen to the entirety of all 3, I'm sorry. I just listened to the ones that have had the most plays so far. I got through like the first 5.
Oh, right? Lord.
All right.
Here's what went down. Drake dropped 3 separate albums in one night. Iceman, Habibti, and Maid of Honor. Now, everybody's talking about the music, but I need you to hear the business. Each one of those projects has its own SoundScan code. Why does that matter? Because Drake was allegedly on the back end of a $400 million deal with Universal Music Group, and that deal required 3 more studio albums. He knocked out his entire contractual obligation in 24 hours. UMG woke up and their biggest artist was already gone. Now he's a free agent, and reportedly a private equity firm has already put a $2 billion offer on the table. If he takes it, he bypasses the label system entirely and becomes the wealthiest artist in the history of music, more than Jay-Z, more than Taylor Swift. That's not rap beef. That's a hostile takeover. The labels have been doing artists dirty for decades, and Drake just flipped the board on all of them.
I think he's on to something.
As soon as I heard about it, it sounded like that was satisfying a contract, and that was a smart move. All props to him for that. I want the old Drake back. I'm like, stop trying to be a boss. Just want the old Drake back. I want some date night songs again. Come on, give them back to me.
So each album was meant for a different audience. Like they had one album that was for the girls, one album that was for the hype beast ego, another album that was for the R&B lovers. They had a lot of classic samples in that one. But I agree that he's not really making the date night music no more. But I feel like that's more because of the label. They're trying to push the EDM on him. Like they want that from Drake. I'm so serious. The paper thin
you
girls.
heard no kid. I don't think that the label pushes Drake to go into any genre. I just think that Drake moves here and there according to what's hot. Because you think about it, every wave that was coming up, he had a song with one of the top artists in that area. And anytime there's a movement, he jumps on that wave. And there's nothing wrong with that. The fact that he has a whole machine behind him, he can crank these things out and stay in lockstep with what's moving right now.
There's been some allegations that Drake has been flipping the script and utilizing bots under the same pretense of what said Kendrick Lamar, or they did for Kendrick.
Is that even new? It is funny that he is using that and being the recipient of the benefits of that while trying to sue that company who was doing it for their other artists as well.
I think Drake has probably more of a cult following than Kendrick did. And I think some of his fans are crazy enough to do weird stuff too, because I've seen them do some weird stuff. As far as buying followers, comments, they use AI to do everything. It's like how the Beehive is. Like, I'm sorry, y'all, because I know y'all love Beyonce, but like, it's certain stuff where I'm like, because did anybody really listen to Beyonce's album? But it was still a top charter.
The way we choose to consume music using some kind of service, which has their own inbuilt algorithms. And we all know how algorithms will push you towards a certain thing. If they find out, oh, you like this? Here's 17,000 more of these things here. Right. Once it establishes that algorithm for you, you kind of stuck there until you really, really actively work to get out of that.
This was a power move by Drake to get himself out of that contract. Smart. And it does set him up to do bigger things. And hopefully he can move past that beef. Because that was a segment of time, but that's not the sum total of either of their careers.
If he did not go full on Lawbury, we would have been past this already. True. It would have been gone. It would have been done and dusted.
He done went to court and everything. Yeah, that was a bit much. He probably shouldn't have done that.
I feel like that was his power move of being like, so if y'all ain't going to take it there, I'm going to take it there.
Yeah, but they were the ones that were feeding it. Like, if you hear somebody talking about your artist in such a way, and instead of saying, hey, we're all on the same team here, because that's kind of what would be expected, that's not what they did. They pushed it, and Drake felt a certain type of way about that, as if it was defamation. So that's why he sued them.
As if they're not supposed to. Their whole job is to make money.
Yeah.
Their whole job is to make money.
Where's the loyalty, man? Where's the loyalty, man?
There hasn't been loyalty in this game since like Tommy Boy.
So. He said some people canceled shows, and because
I'm
was
sure
the
they
whole
did.
thing. Yeah,
because
so
the media doesn't want to be associated with nothing that has to do with nothing.
So you have to really realize like what your weaknesses are when you go up against an opponent. If your opponent does not care about being seen and is willing to take 7 years off between albums, but you really care about your image and you really care about being seen, you have to realize who you up against, because somebody might be able to go scorched earth when you are not.
Was it good for him as a career artist and his legacy?
Any music he produces is good for him because it now gets it back to wax. It now gets it back to the music. Let's get out of these courtrooms. Let's get out of Twitter. Let's get back to the tracks. And if he's doing that, I co-sign that 100%.
Yeah. There was some mixed reviews. Some people didn't like the project at all. Other people said this is classic Drake. And from what I heard, it was like regular. It was like Drake, you know? It didn't blow me away like it was something brand new. It was Drake.
Depends on which album you listen to. Habibti, and then they have Iceman, obviously, and then Maid of Honor.
Speaking of Iceman, the White House put out a post.
Yeah, that was
with the blinged out chain, the OK sign. Was that supposed to mean something towards this whole Drake thing? That was supposed to
incite riots because they just like to do weird stuff.
Like, well, what is that though? What does that mean?
That OK symbol is a dog whistle for white supremacy, but it is somewhat adjacent to that OK symbol, because you'll see
white
it in
supremacy
old,
light. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You'll see a certain type of people sometimes wearing a certain type of hat doing that, just in general.
Combined with the Michael Jack glove and everything, it's like they just want virality. The memes that like Trump posts, like they're just like to incite people to talk again about him.
He be up late sometimes, and stuff start coming out late. You've been up late before. You start thinking some wild stuff, and he just, unfortunately, nobody can take his phone from him, and then we end up with things that he's... Are they trying to say that they were like fans of Drake?
It's not like they consulted with Drake and his team. They did that on their own to just tag along to what's hot and try to get virality out of it.
I think they're trying to reclaim Drake as a white person.
Well, there's that, because he put his mom on the cover, and she's obviously not one of us. But one thing I wanted to point out
is,
you say
she's not like us?
Yes. So they don't want it. They had to choose that side because in every rap beat, there's polarity when it comes to like political affiliation. They had to choose that side versus the other one because the other one's pro-black and pro-American. If you're like Black Power in America, oh, no. Maybe Black Power in Canada. Like, that's how they feel. That's how I look at it.
I didn't know they had Black Power.
Those are their biggest allies, is Black people from other places.
It's so funny that the White House is doing this thing when Drake has been the most anti-political person ever to grace the stage. Like, he has done nothing for any movement, any single movement. A lot of pop artists, they will get out there, and they're usually left-leaning. He made no decisions about anything. He was one of the most noticeable, quiet people during BLM, and he's always been that way. He only contributes to what
left-leaning, or are they pro-progressiveness? Because that's how I feel.
Pro-progressiveness?
Yes.
Most people who are in the arts usually have to deal with a lot of people outside of just their frame of reference, which is why usually most major cities lean left, because they have to deal with other people.
Sexuality, you know what I mean? That's really what I'm leaning toward, but I didn't want to say that because I don't want them to like ban us. I was a theater kid. I'm in music. I do creative work. Like yesterday, for example, this lady comes to me. I'm at an event and she's like, "Oh my gosh, have you met any great guys here?" And I said, "Girl, the guys are not playing for my team." Like, so what I mean by progressive is that they're not necessarily fighting for us to do better in America. They're fighting for like freedom. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Lord.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, you
so
will
he's not
going to
go for
on that one. Thank you for keeping us in trouble.
But they're going to have to read between the lines.
I think you skated well, though. Like, your attempted skate was awesome, but